What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. I slept on the video that I watched, and a lot of you were there for the live stream that I reviewed for Tyre Nichols. I hope that I'm saying his name correctly. But Tyre Nichols, right? That's the name that a lot of the people in the media and the news outlets was saying. So that's the name that I'm using, right? And so I did that review video because I wanted to react to it or see the video and then give you my honest thoughts, which was one of the reasons why I looked at it and I had such a very, very spirited reaction to what it was that I was witnessing, because I don't watch that type of stuff that often, simply because I think that it desensitizes people to an extent to where we're not able to even see things the way that we're supposed to see it, because that's not normal. It's not normal for you to see somebody literally get beat to death calling out for their mother. It's not normal for you to see somebody getting maced and pepper sprayed who clearly was not a threat at all. It looked personal. It looked like it was more to the story that's not really being revealed outside of the cameras. Thank God that we got Big Brother watching us to an extent, because I've seen people throughout the years actually want to reject the idea that we put cameras on the light poles and the stop signs and the whatever, right? They don't want these cameras, and for whatever reason, they feel like it's impeding on their privacy. But I would also say that you don't need any privacy when you don't, publicly, you don't need privacy when you're doing things the right way. Now, when we say privacy in our own homes, that's a different conversation. But when we say privacy in the public or public officials and so on and so forth, I'm all for it, because I've never seen something like this in my entire life. Like, even if you go and you look at the whole Rodney King thing, the videos from that, which at the time was like really egregious. And obviously we know about all of the racism that's played a role in shaping what it is that we know America is to be today. But I've never seen somebody cry out for their mother who showed no threat, did not even look to be doing anything wrong as far as what it is that they pulled over. From what I seen, I didn't even see any reason for him to even be pulled out the car, let alone arrested. And then to be beat to death is obviously just egregious, right? But I don't watch those type of videos because that shouldn't be normal to me. I don't want to then condition myself to see that and think that that's not a big deal, or not to react to it and for it to impact me and make me feel a certain type of way, because it's not right. And we very should be outraged as a society, as a country, and more importantly, Black people holding our own people accountable. Because if you can't even clean up your own household, then why would we advocate for and ask for somebody else to hold themselves accountable to us? As of right now, as of the recording of this video, I have not heard anybody of significance speak on it in the same way that they spoke about the George Floyd. Thank God that up to this point, especially people in Memphis, it's largely been peaceful protests. Because if you're gonna protest, make sure it's peaceful. Make sure you don't tear up your own neighborhoods and your own stores, and you turn your places into food deserts and places where businesses don't want to exist or thrive, because that has nothing to do with what it is that we're looking at this situation for. You don't tear up your own stuff in order to make a point, all right? I'm not gonna go up and tear up my own house just to make a point, because then people are just gonna continue to live their lives and go on, and you're just gonna be living in a tore place, right? But this can't fly. It can't fly. I have not seen any legislators. The only person, I'm gonna be honest with you, I woke up this morning, the little bit of time that I was able to fall asleep, and I woke up this morning to see what the updates were, and I went on Twitter, and I went on all of the sites and Instagram and everything like that, and I was just seeing and checking the temperature to see what people are saying. And this video has been out long enough, and this issue has been, elevated long enough as far as the visibility of it for people to really be able to take it in and make an informed decision and speak on it. I have not heard anything from any of these organizations, right? I have not heard anything from the Black Lives Matters organizations, Patrice Cullors, any of your favorite rappers that want to be advocates, the basketball players that wanted to inject themselves as Steven Jacksons or anything like that. Everybody is quiet as a mouse. And the only person that I heard say anything about this whatsoever is Trump. That's the only person that I've heard anybody say anything about it. Now, this also puts a stain on and continues to reinforce the mindset that people have towards law enforcement. That police officers with a badge is just really gang members. And I don't think that that's true. I think that that can be true about those individuals. I think that there's some more bad apples that we need to root out. But I can't condemn the entire police department as a result of what it is that I've seen happening on that video, no matter how egregious it is, because that just makes you a monolith. Black people are not a monolith. Just because there's some gang members and some Crips and Bloods and some people that's moving a certain type of way in certain environments don't mean that we all that way. And I don't think that we should paint the very people that we call, because let's be clear, this does not happen in more affluent communities. It doesn't. You're never going to see something like this happen in a more affluent community. And I'm just curious as to how this is going to unfold. I'm wondering why everybody is waiting to be able to say something that has any kind of significance or any kind of platform to where they want to bring more visibility. How come they don't show up when it actually matters? How come they don't show up when it's actually something that we need to be paying attention to and having a conversation about? You only see it when it's popularized to the point to where it actually benefits them, or it's election season, right? You don't actually see it when it's something that we need to solve for and make relevant, and then we need to police our own communities before we start asking other people to respect us. Nobody gonna respect you until you respect yourself first. And if we can't even hold our own accountable or bring visibility to some of the issues that's happening to the least amongst us, then what are we here for? What we doing it for? What's the point of all of this? I'm bothered. I am. I'm bothered in the same way that I was bothered about Shanquella Robinson. I'm bothered in the same way that I'm bothered about little homie down the street. And I am. I'm bothered and I'm aggravated, and I wish that society did something that we could learn a lesson from this and use it as something that we can leapfrog off of it. But in this particular instance, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what good can come from this. I'm not. And maybe it's just because it's still fresh in my mind what I seen happening in that video. But the only thing that you can really do is pray for his family. Dude called out for his mother when he was being beat and pepper sprayed. Allegedly died 3 days later. I think that he was dead when he slumped over when he was laying on that car. And if he died 3 days later, it's a strong possibility that he suffered as a result of it. It's unfortunate. What are your thoughts? Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And then we got the Alpha Juice Company with all of the discount codes. It's in the description. Let me know what y'all thoughts are. I'm curious.